morning, everyone. Thank you very much, Jeremy and Sammy, for inviting me in this conference. So my name is Vicky Lee, and my name is Weizi, so you can call me Vicky. I actually come from University of Reading, and I'm Associate Professor of Informatics and Digital Health, and I'm here to introduce our new network. I've been working with Jeremy and Sammy for the last 2 years about the future blood testing for inclusive monitoring and personalized analytics network, which is funded by EPSRC. So our team, as you can see, we have several universities coming together, so including University of Kent and Warwick, and also Jeremy is here, and also from a colleague from Nottingham, and we have a fantastic coordinator, Sammy is here in our network as well. So the idea we come here, so with the network is that in the last 2 years, as you can see, we suffer from COVID, and the NHS is going to digital and everything going to remote, and also they have a long-term strategy of the reduce the unnecessary interaction, unnecessary appointment, in-person appointment. So the whole NHS is going to become more digital and reduce the face-to-face. And as you can see in the COVID, there's a lot more virtual clinics rather than the face-to-face clinics happening. And then we are having a transformation of the outpatient in the future, saying that reduce the travel of the patient and also reduce the air pollution and also achieve the net zero for the NHS in order to underpinned by the digital technology. So mainly to use the digital technology to help to monitor the patient and monitor the treatment, and also monitor the drug treatment as well. So that is the overall context when we come out there, when we work with Jeremy, we're thinking about what is the challenge. But all of the things we're looking at over the 2 years, you have seen what is already happening in the virtual clinics and the telecommunication and telemedicine. But the big challenge that we cannot achieve is that can we do blood tests remotely? So we have been doing like COVID tests, like everyone has done many times over the years, but at home. But for the other disease, for example, the chronic disease, cancer, diabetes, and also many other diseases that need very frequent blood test monitoring. Can we do that at home? And another thing is that I don't know if you've seen the BBC News last month saying that because of backlog for NHS and also because of the people are afraid of going to hospital or going to GP, so a lot of cancer patients being missed diagnosis for cancer patients. About 50,000 patients get missed appointment for the cancer, and also 25,000 patients didn't get any appointment for the treatment because they cannot go to, they're not willing to go to the hospital, and the inefficiency in terms of blood testing. And also, I'm sure you have heard of the story of Theranos. So they're thinking about the big vision about how to make the technology, but that has turned out to be fraud. So we really need to have a solution, that real technology to enable the patient and the health professional carry out their own tests remotely, and also which is something beyond the clinics, and to speed up the decision makings. And also we need AI and machine learning, which will play a very important role. That's why I'm here to see how this can support the future of the blood testing. So then we have been working together with Jeremy and also Sammy together over the years. So we come up with the idea of the future blood testing network that we hope to get all the people together, and we launched last year, November last year. So we just launched. So we're looking forward to a lot of activities and build a multi-disciplinary community for the vision of the remote, rapid, and affordable and inclusive monitoring and personalized analytics. Just have a vision that if you can do the major blood test at home with a high accuracy, and that will really help to speed up the decision making and help your treatment monitoring. And that, of course, we will need to involve researchers, clinicians, patients. We have a big consortium I will introduce later, and industrialists engaging this network. So what is our approach? So we're really looking at an end-to-end approach. So you can see on the right-hand side is the circle. So we're starting from the patient at non-clinical clinical setting, we're really looking at a non-clinical setting, how can you get the remote blood monitor remotely, and through the on-device or cloud-based analytics with a standardized ICT, as Jeremy mentioned, the standardization, data connectivity, that can come up with a personalized analytics and AI, and one can automate the blood analysis, and second can help the decision support of the diagnosis. And we also have some exemplary clinical areas like cancer, arthritis, rheumatology, arthritis, and also many other blood disorders. So it's really looking at a new digital health system that can achieve that end-to-end circle to support real-time blood monitoring. And we have three key research areas that I'm thinking to throw out some questions, ideas for you to think about how the modern technology, new technology, or some future technology that can really help to contribute to this research, because of really important challenge. So the first of all, the remote monitoring. I think most of colleagues here in engineering, chemistry, who are working on sensing all the point of care devices, imaging, and that can really help the technology that to get the analyze the blood test, monitoring at home remotely in an affordable way, and ICT, water data connectivity. Now we have a lot of the different point of care devices. There's no standard. How could we have standardized data connectivity that makes sure we can collect the high quality data? And AI, I just mentioned again. So to how to get the adaptive analytics based on longitudinal monitoring. If we're having a technology to monitor the multiple blood biomarkers longitudinally, can we have adaptive analytics? So not only looking at normal and abnormal of your blood testing result, but also looking at the subtle changes of your blood biomarkers. Some example of clinical application, we're looking at early detection and drug treatment monitoring, and also improve the efficiency for primary care as well. So those are the key technologies as well as the clinical application. I just to give you a very simple example that we have already. But we also want to think in this technology, this type of a scenario can be applied in the other blood test results. So for example, now we have continuous glucose monitoring for type 1 diabetes. For longitudinal, you have a non-invasive sensing put on the arm, and they can monitor your blood glucose continuously with a cloud platform that capture your blood glucose changes and come up with the personalized analytics. This is one of what we've been doing about the pattern of the changes and how you respond to the your treatment of the blood of the diabetes. So that is for the blood glucose monitoring. But how about some other biomarker? For example, for blood count. Can we monitor for blood count? Can we monitor platelet? Can we monitor the white blood cell and red blood cell? That will be really useful for the cancer patient, for example, leukemia patient. So this is question we want to throw out. Are there any technology? How can we develop the technology can do that remotely and longitudinally? And this is our international network consortium. So as you can see, and we have international universities as well as NHS trust at companies, and one of very important, I have to mention, the AI for Scientific Discovery Network play a very important role here to bring together AI expertise here. And this is our wider linkage into different things. On the left-hand side is the clinical application area, including from oncology to the drug monitoring. On the right-hand side, you can see the remote IoT and the AI. And also we look at ethics, human factors in terms of technical adoption as well. So the key network activity I want to mention, I will only mention like two main activities that are happening now. So one is a landscape report, and the other one is the international conference we are going to organize in the next year. So we have landscape report, also network of workshop, online seminars, and collaborative innovation project. We will announce the feasibility funding later this year, and also we're going to develop research and impact. So we have launched our landscape report funding call. It's really to ask the colleagues and in the network to look at the roadmap to develop the new digital system towards this future blood monitoring testing, and that really includes the in-system review, interview with the key stakeholders, and identify the gaps with recommendations. One of the good examples is a report that published in 2018. It's about thinking on its own AI in NHS. That report really have a good example of how they find the gap for NHS of adopting AI. So we are hoping to have a similar reporting, a similar really to provide a recommendation to address the gaps of the future of the blood testing. And you can see we have some mainstream we're looking at is in the application in healthcare, remote blood processing, and AI and analytics. So the funding is 25,000, but all the details SEMI is organized very well, so you can ask SEMI about the details and the submission. And we will keep the call open for some time until we find the best proposal. So just to ask SEMI if you want any details. And also we recently got accepted for an international conference in Hawaii, international conference on the system of science. And we got a mini track called Digitally Enabled Blood Testing Healthcare Track. Although it's Hawaii, it sounds like a holiday place, but there's really a lot of experts internationally will come together. I met a lot of very good academics and industry collaborators in that conference. So we got accepted for one of mini track in digital enabled blood testing in healthcare, and we will now call for papers for our mini track. You can get a mini track information on the link here, and also the deadline is June. So you will be able to find all the content details and the aspect in the links. So quite a wide range of the research. We welcome quite a wide range of research. And so that's all for my presentation. So feel free to follow us on Twitter, LinkedIn, and also feel free to ask Sammy for more details because she's a fantastic coordinator as well. And feel free to contact me if you have more questions as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you.